D Jennings, what's going on, guys? What's going on, buddy? We're going to get started here in just a second. Liberty NC, how are you? Thank you so much, Jay Wilsey. Wilsey? The Unknown. What is going on, bud? How are you? Z. That is an easy name to pronounce. How you doing, Infinite Lightning? Psycho Mike, what is going on, buddy? How you doing, walking through game? Psycho Mike, yes, I did have a good Christmas. I hope you guys did as well. What is my speculation on when the update? I think it's after the new year, but who knows? We're going to be getting started here in just a quick second. We got a, you know, a pretty interesting show for you today. RayROD is going to be on the show later. Will this be spoilery? I haven't finished the story yet. No, we're not going to be talking about the story at all. At least I don't think. But who knows? Sometimes callers can start talking about some stuff. Let me go and get this music off. All right, the music is off. You know, brownie points for anybody that knows what that music is from, too. It is literally my favorite, you know, my favorite song from any video game ever. And it still remains to this day one of my top favorite video games. Oh, look, somebody did The Unknown. All right, the Ballad of Gay Tony. That's right. That is the pause menu music. My favorite piece of, you know, music in a game ever. So, you know, just having a little bit of nostalgia. I miss GTA 4 so much, and it's the only game that is not on the PS4 as far as the GTA franchise goes. It's kind of strange. It really is. We got an awesome show, guys. We're going to be talking about the PC Best Ongoing Game Award for No Man's Sky tonight. We are also going to have RayROD come on, talk about his new overhaul mod beta that is out now for you guys to download and play if you are a PC player. We also have Krem. Let me see if I get Kermit the Frog. Krem. Let's go ahead and silence a bunch of stuff here. Let's see. We're going to turn that down. Okay. All right. So, yeah, we're going to have Krem. He's going to be coming on to talk with RayROD about the mod, about the drama that's happening with RayROD and the attacks that he's getting from some of the modding community, and sort of, you know, just to give him a stage so that way he can come on and defend himself, because I think that's important for, you know, someone who's worked so hard to be able to get a chance to let others know what is going on and why you can't find his mod on Nexus Mods. So he's going to be coming on, but I think, you know, we're going to talk about the Best Ongoing Game Award first, and then we're going to be taking callers sometime after we are talking to RayROD and Krem. A little bit after that, we're going to start taking some callers and ask RayROD some questions, or just give your input to any topic that you want to talk about, whether it be No Man's Sky or something else. This platform is for you. You can come on, talk about your YouTube channel, talk about your game. I see Arsenal Studios in the chat. Arsenal Studios is making an I Am Legend game. And so it's pretty interesting to, see that unfold. How you doing, Daniel? Oh, so yeah. I love the pause tune from Battletoads. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's talk about, this Best Ongoing Game Award. I've seen a lot of mixed feelings about the Best On Game Award. There's a lot of mixed feelings about a lot of stuff right now, especially Star Wars. Wow, what a topic Star Wars would be right now. What a topic Star Wars would be right now. I have to go to work tonight. I was going to do 2 subcasts today, one on No Man's Sky and the other one on Star Wars, and have you guys come on the show and tell me what you think about Star Wars. And I mean, you can call in and say what's on your mind about Star Wars, but I would really like to set aside an entire show to talk about Star Wars. So don't know what I'm going to get another day off this week. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or Thursday, but I definitely want to do a Star Wars subcast dedicated to the Star Wars topic. And I'm hoping is people call in and we have different opinions, because I think that would be an amazing show. I want to hear people that like it, people that don't like it, and I just want to hear both sides of the story. So with that said, let's go ahead and talk about this Best Ongoing Game Award from PC Gamer. Excuse me. All right, let's go ahead and get it up on the screen. How are you guys? How you doing? Oh, we got Daxter in the chat. What's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? Okay, so let's go ahead and go over this article here. All right, so Best Ongoing Game Award from PC Gamer. Our ongoing award goes to No Man's Sky. After a rocky 2016 launch, the game is in better shape after this year's updates. Check out our other... Okay, well, Phil Savage. I don't know who any of these people are. Well, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay. Phil Savage, here's a new category for this year's awards designed to recognize an older game that had a 2017 through that had a great 2017 through patches and free updates, and whatever you originally thought of No Man's Sky when it released last year, this year marked a period of significant growth and improvement. Andy Kelly. At launch, No Man's Sky felt a shell of a game. I squeezed 20 hours out of it, which is not insignificant, and he's right, it's not insignificant. But in that time, I felt like I'd experienced everything this supposedly infinite universe had to offer. But over time, thanks to procession of hefty free updates, the game has evolved into something much deeper and ultimately much better. Whether it's base building vehicles, new biomes, or the story's clearer, more handcrafted structure, Hello Games has been transforming the game into something approaching the grand promise of those early demonstrations. I still think there's a lot of room for improvement, including more varied planets, surfaces, and the developer's efforts to expand, deepen, and improve its colorful space simulator, and something I think we can all celebrate. I was on the other fence. I loved the way the game released. We were told from the beginning that it was not going to be finished when it was released by Sean Murray in 2014, saying that the game, a lot of things are possible with No Man's Sky. Not everything will be possible with No Man's Sky when it ships, but they feel like they're going to be working on the game for a very long time. And back then, they were telling us that there was going to be very little text in the game, so there was going to be lore, but we're all scratching our heads like, how are we going to know this lore if there's going to be very little text in the game? So to me, that told me from the very start that No Man's Sky wasn't really going to have a story, and it was going to be a make your own adventure, an ambient experience. a stage pretty much for you to do whatever and be whoever you wanted to be. So, you know, I mean, shell of a game, I can see, yes, how people can say that and feel that. But, you know, it definitely had some missing features, that's for sure. You know, but they said they weren't going to be done. As far as planets being more varied, back then he was also saying that most of the planets were going to be barren, and that the chance of life was going to be a surprise. And, you know, to our surprise, you know, there's too much life as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't make discovering a planet that's lush and, you know, brimming with life too special. You know, and space, out in space, you know, we probably got more floating dead rocks than anything. Sorry, that's the cat. So, you know, the fact that No Man's Sky even offers more than what our foreseeable life can actually see, you know, I mean, what we can see, you know, we see Mars, we know it's on Mars, we know it's on, you know, I guess, you know, there are some pretty strange things out there in the universe, but, I don't know. I think I'd be happier with more barren planets. Comment down below what you guys think. I think finding a lush planet should feel special, and I think it would make it more rewarding if there was less out there. So Philippa. War. Is this a real name? I was one of those people who actually loved No Man's Sky when it came out, not an all-encompassing passionate frenzy which blinded me to its shortcomings, nor the differences between marketing and the game, but there was so much in that ambitious universe which already gave me joy. It was built for pottering in a way that reminded me of meandering along country trails with my camera, investigating pleasing views and trailing odd creatures. I agree. I so agree with that statement. The first big update to the game, Foundation, came towards the end of 2016, bringing things like base building, freighters, and farming. In terms of how that made the game feel, it didn't specifically impact how I played it because I wasn't interested in commerce or settling down. I was content to drift along in normal mode. I agree with that. I really do. I mean, to this day, I don't have a big bank account, and I haven't really done a whole lot of farming just because that doesn't interest me that much to do. I just want to go off and explore and, you know, sit there inside my imagination and be whatever it is that I'm being at the time, going wherever and looking at cool sceneries and taking pictures. That is how I think what's the beauty about No Man's Sky is you play it in different ways. And, you know, that's what was said from the very start. But taking a more general view of the update felt like a statement from developers Hello Games about how they would be approaching the game post-release. The update implied a willingness to be more flexible over what the game could be. Instead of forcing players to keep moving, never settling, base building was a specifically supported element of the game. There were also a couple of modes to tweak the difficulty should you fancy it. And they're talking about survival mode and permadeath and things like that. Well, survival mode. Foundation ended up being exactly that. A support structure and a statement of intent for 2017's set of updates. Pathfinder was the first and offered up vehicles and vehicle racing, base sharing, photo mode, permadeath mode, a whole bundle of quality of life improvements, and more. It was photo mode which absolutely blew me away and either ruined or perfected the game for my purpose, depending on which way you approached it. Photo mode was developed in collaboration with Dead End Thrills' Duncan Harris. It lets you pause the game in the middle of what you're doing and switch into a freeish camera mode. At that point, you can line up your shots, apply filters as you might on Instagram, fiddle with field of view and depth of field, change the position of the sun in order to get the perfect shadows, or the exact time of day, and more. When I used to spend minutes on shots, I can now spend hours. I've previously spent entire sessions within the same 5-foot radius, captivated by different light effects on a group of trees. I believe Chris Livingston rather liked photo mode too, but the big draw for him in the updates was the ability to ram wildlife with his new space car. Perhaps we should have combined our interest for some kind of artsy inverse wildlife photographer for the year exhibition. Atlas Rises came in August, and along with the train editing and ancient portals, it seemed to sow seeds for co-op play, multiplayer, or rather the ability to see other people in your game is one of the biggest sticking points from launch. The reality of the game didn't match what had been described during development. I disagree there. Well, to a point. The ability still hasn't exactly in the game, but there's a vision of the idea in that you can see other players as floaty orbs with proximity-based chat, and Hello Games are billing that as a precursor to some kind of synchronous co-op. These updates don't erase launch criticisms, but they do reframe the game. Hello Games are using the process of post-release patches to respond to those criticisms and flesh out the game in ways that reflect and expand how people play it, more specific to my own interest in the fact that the game just keeps getting more beautiful through a multitude of changes, both big and small. In my current game, I've discovered a planet populated with trees that sprout octopus-like tentacles. Finally, I'm ready to call somewhere home. I just have to stop taking pictures of it long enough to find a habitable base and claim the world as my own. Good article, and good for Hello Games for getting this award, because I can't agree more that best ongoing game. Yes, you're getting dropouts. Okay, well, let me go ahead and okay. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the that. And I'm gonna go ahead and get off this. Okay, so maybe that'll help. I'm not sure. It says encoding overloaded. Okay, all right. I don't know. We'll keep going. I know when it finally uploads to YouTube, for some reason, there's no dropouts. Real Casual Geeks, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I think I've got my settings turned up too high or something, because it says encoding overloaded. Consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset. We'll figure that out. Let's see. Well, yeah, it says it's dropped 0.3% frames. Okay. All right, so tell you what, let me go ahead and take, I wonder if this will help. Let me get that off. I'm not sure. Okay, so we'll see if that works or see if it gets better. I apologize for that. But, okay, well, it's going back to the topic of Hello Games and about, now it's bothering me. Still saying encoding overloaded. Okay. Okay. Well, I can't fix that right now, unless I restreamed. Okay, so if you're having problems watching it live, I'm pretty sure YouTube puts it together without the lag and things like that. So you can watch it after it goes live on YouTube. But yeah, I'm proud of Hello Games getting this award because they came out and received probably one of the, not the worst, but one of the worst backlashes I've seen in a long time for gaming. And for them to continue to work and all the rumors about them charging for updates and them proving that that's not true and just keep going forward with all that they've been through and, fleshing out a game, giving those features that were missing and also including features they never even talked about, I think is just absolutely stunning. And with the ARG and how exciting that was to usher in the Atlas Rises update, I could see why they were getting, why they were awarded the best ongoing game award. And there's a lot of games out there that can also be contenders for that as well. But I think, for a game to get such a bounce back, such a if you go look at the Steam reviews and how it's mostly positive and, how it's just bounced right back. And people are looking at it in different light, and there's not a whole lot of people coming by YouTube channels and telling people that they need to die because they're playing No Man's Sky. That stuff's over. I mean, I don't see it happening that much anymore. So I'm really happy that they got this award, and I'm proud. And I think one of the things that Hello Games needs to do is come out with another title, and I don't think they can do that until they fix their public image. And I think they're doing a very good job at that as well. So later on, when we start taking callers, call in. You could talk about the article, or you could bring up a different conversation. But I'm going to be taking call. I'm going to be having RayROD come onto the show, and we're going to be talking about his overhaul mod and some of the drama surrounding that. So let me go ahead and get him on.
Hello?
RayROD, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
How's it going, man? I'm doing well.
It's going great. It's going very
thanks
good.
for having me here.
Dude, it's a pleasure to have you on, man. You're always welcome on the show, dude. Always.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
I'm going to invite...
Kren. I was just with him.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get him on the call here.
Hello.
Krem, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure to have you guys on the show, dude. A big pleasure. So I want you guys to talk a little bit about, the overhaul mod and some of the drama behind it, but, just a little bit about the process, how hard it was and how hard you guys worked and, what the future could possibly be and things like that. So it's thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Like I said, thanks for having me. As far as the overhaul goes, that's Ray. He did everything in that. I just fed him some ships so he could put them in there. So the overhaul is his, despite what people are saying. It's just, when you're going to work on the same thing, you're going to end up working in the same files. You're going to work on the same values and the same variables. You're just going to be doing it differently.
Exactly. It's almost like, back in the heyday when I started making No Man's Sky videos, and all of a sudden a bunch of other people popped up and started making No Man's Sky videos. And sometimes we would make the same content. It's almost like the same exact show talking about the same topic. It's just going to happen.
Think alike. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Great minds think alike. And when you only have, a certain amount of that content to either talk about or work with, then, each things are going to be very similar. So I get what you're saying there, and I agree.
That's exactly it. I mean, we're limited to models, metadata, shaders, sound files, and textures. That's pretty much what we can modify. And there's going to be people stepping over each other's toes. I've had some similar mods to mine, and I haven't gone out there and complained about it. We need variety. If we lived in a world where what this is considered stealing, we would all be driving Fords and drinking Coca-Cola.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So so that everybody knows what's going on, guys, kind of fill people in, because Ray, one of the things I keep trying to tell you, and I know you're dealing with so much, is that you're a household name. These guys that you're telling me about, nobody knows who they are. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows when they think of No Man's Sky mod, they think RayROD. Okay. You're a household name. So a lot of people don't even know the things and the challenges that you're dealing with. So kind of fill everybody in about what's kind of happening to you. Right.
So pretty much synonymous, to that letter that I wrote in Facebook to the community with the advice of Martin Dex. Is that how you pronounce his name? Yeah, I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right, but yeah. Okay, so, like, the situation is, it really all goes back to a while back when an individual asked me to, he asked me to add his mod to my mod and to link to his page to give him exposure, because not a lot of people knew about his mod. And I thought I was doing something nice for him. And after a bit of time went by, he demanded that I take it out. I told him that I spent days and days implementing this for him, and improving things. And he responded in sarcasm. And eventually he said, well, if it reduces your workload, then you can take it out. I mean, then you can leave it there. Sorry. And I decided to take it out anyway, even though he said I could keep it there, and it was only there in the first place because he wanted it there. I didn't ask to put it there. He asked me to put it there. But, I took it out because I didn't want to deal with any more drama. So after that, I took it out. I just continued to do my own thing, work on the version 10 update of the mod. And that's when a case was brought up against me, and they were claiming that I had some of his assets in my mod, which wasn't true. After 4 days officially in a case, going through it, etc., it came to the conclusion, being established as factual, that none of his assets were in my mod. I scrapped it, respectfully, even though I didn't have to. And I did my own thing, just like everything else in there. And, and that lasted 4 days of getting, insults hurled in my face. There were some times where I got frustrated, but I let it go. And when things calmed down and was put on hold, I was kind to them, even though they just came out of nowhere, stalking me, harassing me, etc. And then another case was brought up, same thing, rinse and repeat. And, they were waiting for me to release my mod. So the same day that I released the mod, it was falsely flagged under false allegations for the same reason, that the case had begun in the past, which was already concluded and established. It's not in there. But they went to Nexus Mods and they reported it and said that it was. And Nexus took preemptive action and they had it taken down without actually looking into the issue, and evaluating it. It was taken down based off of hearsay for the same exact reason that I was banned from the No Man's Sky modding Discord, based off of hearsay. It was speculation and it was all bias prejudice. And, it's like some of the people that I am being confronted by and harassed by, they're like a demagogue, in a sense where they attain to popular prejudice and bias in exchange for personal gain. And, I think that they knew that when I released the mod, after working so hard on it consistently, that a lot of people might like it, that a lot of people might say things. And when, so that's why they tried to, prevent it from being released. And when it was released and a lot of people did like it, these people, they started, looking for everything that had my name on it, and they started speaking, you know, a lot of malicious things and spreading rumors and lies and causing confusion and misleading people and trying to warp the way that people see me, you know. And you know, they were saying that I took everyone's stuff when that's the complete opposite of what's true. It's not true at all. And it's just confusion. And I don't like that. I hate injustice, you know, and it's not like anyone who's supposed to be doing something about it is doing anything. You know, people in charge are not doing anything. They're just bystanders. And that's
right.
the reality to the situation. So,
and,
yeah.
I'm sorry, go. You've been working on this for a very long time. I mean, long hours. Every time I message you, you're working on this, and you're doing it all for free. So
for free, for free.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're not getting paid for any of this. I mean, this is a hobby, a passion for you. And my question: are they actually is this drama between people in charge, or are they actually trying to discredit you in the community's eyes as well?
I mean. Yeah, correct. Actually, it's a combination of everything. I mean, like, I think, like, enough evidence has been provided. Everything is, you know, it's like, it's not new. This stuff has been going on, you know, and...
I if I may interject, I see toxic individuals trying to spread their negativity to anybody who will listen and anybody that'll buy it up. Whether it's a community, whether it's on boards, forums, Reddit, or whatever the case might be, if they can turn their opinion against RayROD, they've accomplished their feat. And these are the same guys that we're talking about thought a modder got picked up and hired by Hello Games because part of his mod is now in Atlas Rising, but it was actually game content prior to game release. It wasn't the modder's model at all. They are speculating. They don't know completely what they're talking about. They don't have all the facts.
And you know, this same person, you know, I'm trying to avoid saying names. I'm not going to do that. But this same person, you know, I mean, I can say my friend Redmus, Space Pirate TV, he's an awesome modder.
Yes.
Like, apparently he just quit today because of this going on. Like, he was a victim of this same drama. Somebody wasn't in the mood, you know, the same person that Krem was referring about, not saying names, you know, this person wasn't in a mood and took down all of his mods.
What?
You know? Yeah, off of No Man's Sky mods.
Are you talking about Space Pirate TV?
Yes. Like, yeah, like, he makes awesome mods. Like,
yeah.
Like, he was trolled, and this person took down all of his content because apparently he made a patch to make his mod compatible with mine, and RayROD was in the title. So he got trolled because RayROD was in the title, and the excuse was based off of some nonsense. And after that, the same person went on to Reddit and started, you know, like belittling and discrediting me. Like, I thought I was friends with this person. Like, not that long ago, like, we were having a good conversation, you know, but there's a lot of people who will play buddy-buddy with you, you know, and act nice to you, but behind your back, they'll say all of these things because they're really trying to erase you with no good reason, you know. And I think that a lot of people don't like seeing other people get complimented or credited, you know, for what they work on. And, you know, and I just don't think that that's a good thing, because there's no I don't think there should be a competition. Like, I wrote this on Twitter, but what I'm thinking is like, I said it can be rough at times, but what keeps me here is passion. You know, I love No Man's Sky. I love the game that Hello Games has worked hard on for us. I do what I do out of passion. You know, isn't that enough? Does there have to be a motive behind it? Can I just, you know, mod a game that I really like? You know, like, I made the overhaul first and foremost for myself. Like, it's my personal setup that I worked hard on, but I love to share it, and I have no problem with that. And if you think about it, before No Man's Sky was released, Hello Games dealt with with a case where somebody was claiming that they took their super formula, but that wasn't true. They were slandered in the exact same way, because they're a small indie team, or they were at least, and someone took advantage of that and claimed that they took this, they took that, and they went through unnecessary drama and they had a lot of stumbling blocks. But what's remarkable about that is even, they pushed through all of that. And even after it was released, despite all popular controversy, they continued to press forward all of the drama and the accusations and the hate, and they gave an ear to hear towards their community. And they cared for their community, and they consistently worked on the game to this day. And that's exactly, like, they deserve that reward for being persistent. And they were doing the updates for free. And I really respect that about Hello Games, that they just don't entertain this mess, and they just continue to do what they love. They care about their game, they care about the community. And that's why, despite everything going on, that, like, I'm not going to let this discouragement prevent me from doing what I like to do, from doing what I love. I just love to rework No Man's Sky. I do what I do because it's just out of passion. I'm not asking for anything in return. It's just what I like to do. Simple as that. You know what? And it's really the same thing with Krem. He invests a lot of time, working on importing custom ships into the game, and this and that. And he just enjoys doing that.
Yeah. So you're the one responsible for all these cool ships I'm seeing in RayROD's pictures.
I can't take full credit. I'm finding them online through various sources, all freeware license, free to just redistribute, free to do what you want with them. I'm issuing credits to those authors for using their models, but I am taking them from a 3D format and importing them into the game, adding visual effects that you see that some players don't like. Personally, I do, and that's why I put them in my mod. But yes, it's definitely not all me, but it's definitely I've put in over 1,000 hours into the project over the last couple months.
Sheesh. And you make it sound so simple. Oh yeah, I'm just putting them in my mod. Yeah, I'm just integrating them. Yeah. Come on, man. Give yourself some credit, dude, because I have no idea what you guys are doing, man. You guys are like Merlin or Gandalf the Greys over there on the computer or whatever.
Thank you. I did have somebody ask me maybe do a stream of one of my developments one day. I may entertain that. But honestly, watching me work in Blender probably is not one of the most exciting things to do.
Sure it is. Just throw some cool music and just go to work and let's stream it.
Yeah, I look forward to, maybe somebody watching might be able to help me out and help me learn Blender a little better. So that's definitely something I'm looking into. But as RayROD was saying, my hat's off to Hello Games. They took a lot of abuse when they first released their game. They could have just, this is a fail. Sorry, guys. Wiped their hands clean of it and just walked away. But they didn't. They immediately worked hard so they could get us Foundation and get us some content into the game. So we had something to play with. Immediately following Foundation was Pathfinder. We finally had something that was established and we could play on, and now we have Atlas. People are talking already about a 1.4 update, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. I'm not anticipating it anytime soon because they gave us so much in Atlas that they don't really need to give us anything more yet. But I'm deterring from the topic. We're not going to give up either. We're going to continue. We're going to press forward. We're going to make new mods. I think we're going to work together and make new freighters. I'll import the freighters. Maybe add some NPCs, do some creative things, and fulfill that request that I've been getting for the last 6 months. Oh,
and I'd also like to say that real quick. That You know, like there are like ships, you know, like that I did, and there are some, you know, there are also some things that Krem did. Like for example, like one that's not outsourced is like the pilotable Sentinel drone, you know, and also the pilotable freighter. Like those are in-game assets. Like I got it flyable and I configured everything there, and there were some things that Krem helped me out with, you know, to, you know, fix some issues with it. So a lot of the awesome ships, you know, like they are outsourced, you know, like the original creators of those ships, they're in the additional credits in the download, you know, but, you know, there are also some things that, you know, that we did, you know, for the custom imported ships there. So, but yeah, you know, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, well, very good. Later here, well, actually here, pretty soon we're going to be taking callers so you can come and talk to Krem and RayROD. So if you'd like to get on the show, just send me the message one on Skype. Tonight we're on Skype, not Discord. You could add me on Skype by searching LpoLi1622. That's LpoLi1622 on Skype, and find me on there. I'll add you as a friend and drag you right on the show, kicking and screaming. But, you know, what I want to know is if you could talk to these guys that are doing these things, for one, you believe it's malicious. You don't think it's a misunderstanding, correct?
No, I think it's completely malicious out of envy.
Okay.
It's malicious.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure somebody's going to share the video to them. You know, they're going to be like, hey, they were talking about you at minute marker, whatever. So what would you want to say to those guys right now?
Personally, I mean, I kind of get it. Having modded, for lack of better words, against RayROD in Foundation and Pathfinder, and that's not even really the right word. It's just he did his thing, I did my thing. I saw his thing get more attention than my thing. It hurt. I get it. But at the same time, he's put in a lot of work into it. You put in a lot of work into it. You put a lot of time. You put a lot of soul into something. You deserve that reward, that credit. So my hat's always been off to RayROD ever since the beginning. I've never looked at it as we were against each other. It's just I had to use that as the lack of better words. But in the overall sense, I don't get it. Because we're not getting paid for this. There's no medal. There's no trophy at the end of the day. There's no real reason why we need to combat with each other instead of working together. And that's the reason why I came together with RayROD on his overhaul to give him my ships, rather than have my more ships mod conflict with his overhaul and make modders or users have to decide which one they wanted to use. Let's just make it easy for him and give them both. And now everybody can enjoy RayROD's thing. Everybody can enjoy my thing. And, you know, everybody's happy.
Right. And what I would like to say is, you know, like, I miss the days, you know, pre-Atlas Rises, where the modding community would get along, where it wasn't about titles, it wasn't about fame or likes or downloads or ratings or any of this nonsense. It was just about passion and trying to mold and shape this game into the game that we always, you know, that we personally desired it to be. Of course, everyone had a different preference, but that's why we helped each other. You know, like it wasn't about this nonsense. It was just about No Man's Sky, and that's it. Reworking Hello Games assets.
And yeah, we all have different preferences, which is why there were like, I don't know, 2-3 different flight mods back in Pathfinder. You know, the 3 different authors for a low flight mod. Sorry.
Okay. Are you guys ready to? Do you have anything more you would like to say to them? Or are you ready to start taking some callers? Or
I'm set.
I got something to say. Leave them alone, guys. You know, everybody's having fun. So, you know, they're creating mods. You're creating mods. Leave them alone. You know, nobody's going to listen to me, but Jesus Christ, man, guys, calm down. All right, we're gonna get Jordan on. He wants to talk to you guys. A surprise, actually. I don't know what he means by surprise. No, he's a friend of the show.
Oh yeah, Jordan. Yeah, he's my friend.
Jordan.
He's not picking up. Jordan, if you can hear me, buddy, I'm trying to give you a call, but keep calm and game on. Dude, call in, man. I want to talk to you. Miss you, dude. Oh, okay. Jordan didn't pick up. Jordan, if you can hear me and you want to come on the show, just join the group that I invited you to and come on and talk to RayROD and Krem. All right. Well, what do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about, No Man's Sky getting the best ongoing game award from PC Gamer?
I think it's totally deserved.
Heck yeah, it is.
I think it's I think it's a cool title. It's an awesome award. They're very deserving of it. Like I said, they could have given up in 2016, and they could have even quit already, and they're still going. So yeah, definitely deserving, and I can definitely say I think stuff like this is nice to have, because when somebody takes your stuff for granted, like so many players did with No Man's Sky in the very beginning, it's crippling. It's crushing to one's spirit, and it's hard to stay motivated and keep going. So just to stay in the ring and keep going, they definitely deserve that.
Yeah, I agree. How does when the game updates, how does that affect the mod that you guys create? Do you have to do certain things to make it work with the new update?
Oh, it horribly breaks things.
Oh.
It depends on what they did to update, but in most cases, any files in the metadata tables do have to be restored or updated. I wasn't anticipating having to update any models, but they changed their structure to their models, and they added a different way of doing collisions, I guess. But yeah, that broke almost every mod that was out there, unless it was just a texture mod.
Wow.
Yeah, may I say something too?
Sure, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, last time, like, this was, like, when Atlas Rises hit, because I've been working on the overhaul for a long time, but when Atlas Rises first hit, that was the first release of, pretty much, like, I've been working on the overhaul since, like, 2016, just I didn't release it. It was more so something that I was working on and studying in the files and all of that, and I was doing something on Pathfinder, but after Pathfinder ended, I scrapped that and I started working on the overhaul, and I released it on Atlas Rises, but when Atlas Rises first hit, a lot of files stopped working, and compatibility needed to be made. Like, a lot of things needed to be redone. But for me, it wasn't difficult. I just, I didn't know anything about hex editing, but, I pretty much had to learn it overnight, and I did about 8,000 files in hex. And yeah, so, like, normally we have to wait for the mbin compiler to be updated, and Monkey Man is kind enough to update, the mbin compiler. It's very helpful and useful. It's not necessary, but a lot, it's possible to update the files with the hex editor, or, some people, like, it's also possible to do it in C++. I mean, not a lot of people would do that. There are other ways around it. But, like, when the next update comes out, I'll probably update the overhaul in one sitting, like I did when Atlas Rises first came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
One sitting. That's coming from a guy who sits and works for 36 hours straight.
Jeez.
72 sometimes.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, do you agree, Krem, that RayROD is pretty much a household name for No Man's Sky mods?
Oh, definitely. I mean, like I was saying earlier, even though it wasn't my choice of words, yeah, I felt like I was modding against him because, like I said, everybody knew RayROD was. Everybody liked RayROD's stuff, whether it was just a shader or a very simple visual mod back in Foundation or Pathfinder, or it's the overhaul today. He's definitely the one that everybody's always talking about. And that's why I honestly believe this envious, malicious source has come about.
I agree. 100% agree. What is, I've talked to Ray at Good Links about the update, and I want to get from you, Trem.
Hey, Jordan.
Jordan? What's going on, buddy?
It's been like 5 minutes straight. I'm trying to join you, and I have so many problems to join you. Oh my god.
Well, I'm glad you finally made it, dude. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing. I'm not gonna be able to stay long because I'm gonna have to go to work in like 20 minutes. It's great to see some friends here. You know. Actually, it's the first time I'm going to talk to RayROD and Cream in vocal. I have talked to them a lot in Discord because we are friends. I've been here with RayROD and Cream for the development of the overhaul. I have been a tester for it, and I'm glad I have been able to help them during their mod.
RayROD's mod.
Yeah. Mostly.
Mostly.
Yeah, thanks, Ben, for being a great beta tester. You know, I appreciate it, and for letting just sharing the word about it.
You know, I'm always trying my best to send you the everything that people said, and I'm always trying my best to share to people that you're not the people that some media haters saying to the others. I've talked to you every day. I'm a friend for you, and I see that you are not this kind of man. You know.
Yeah, thanks for that. You know, for sharing your input. I appreciate it.
I 100% agree. You know, RayROD's character, it's not in him to be malicious or to steal or, you know, or anything like that. I mean, it's really a horrible thing. It's what's happened to RayROD.
He's always grateful for everyone that is here to help him, and we don't want to see him that badly. I didn't know that Red Mass was stopping the making mods. I didn't know that. I was thinking he was trying to keep it because he's also a friend of mine because he is French and I'm also French, so
that's a shame.
Goes well. Yeah, that's a shame because it was good. He was doing an amazing job, and the more hate you're having against you, the more it is going to your head, and you're thinking at the end of the day, it is me the problem, or is it the others?
We got somebody in the chat that knows you from Discord, Ray. Oppressor.
Oh yeah, Oppressor11. He takes amazing screenshots. I love to share his screenshots taken on the overhaul a lot. A lot of the screenshots that I put on Facebook or on Twitter, sometimes, you know, a lot of them, he took them, you know. I make sure to credit him there. This guy takes really amazing screenshots, sort of like, I think he takes screenshots like Dead End Thrills.
Both Oppressor and Jordan have taken some good screenshots and videos.
I did something. I did a trailer for RayROD. I don't know if you're going to upload your one from your friend. I don't know when. Is it coming?
Oh, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
I was saying you were preparing a trailer for your overhaul, but I have made one for your overhaul. But you did say that you were preparing one from your friend.
Oh yeah. Jordan, he made an awesome trailer. My friend Cyrus, you know, he's been planning to work on a trailer whenever he has time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do good work, Jordan. Every time you tweet something out, I'm definitely watching every single time.
Thank you. I'm trying my best. It has been an amazing year for every one of us in the No Man's Sky community, because today we don't talk about hate for this game. We talk about what we can add for this game again, and I don't want people to hate on people that put their body, their soul every day to something that they love. RayROD has put his entire life into this. He was, you even told me sometimes you didn't sleep for at least like 24 hours, and just walking on the mod non-stop. And I was like, is he a robot? Am I talking to a robot? I was like, is he a robot? Like it's been like 3 months that I talked to him, and I'm like, revelation, he's a robot. What the hell?
Black Note Studios, call in, man. I would like to chat with you, man. Been a while, been too long.
Everyone is in the chat saying RayROD president. for president of Ella Games. Technically,
RayROD, it's a big shame about Red Moss. I hope he changes his mind. You know what, RayROD, I do not want to see that fate happen to you as well.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think RayROD you will ever quit, because
he would have by now.
He would have by now, but yeah. I think we have been here to support him and giving the love that he deserves, because we don't want him to stop. We don't want him to stop making his dreams reality, because I think in the end, it is his dream to give us something that is different from everything that we have done before. It is a new experience. As I said, it is something that we have never even seen before, because this is something new, and people don't like when something changes, and they take it madly, Yeah. They always also try to take the people that are getting famous for their work. I know people are trying to take my friend fame because of his work, because he's doing something unique that maybe never someone will do again in this game. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want people to take what he has done, what he has worked so hard on, and I'm not gonna let people doing that. I'm never gonna let people doing that.
Right, and neither will I. RayROD and Krem, you guys said something earlier that piqued my interest, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it ever since. You mentioned that Hello Games hired a modder.
No, that was a rumor. The same guys that are out there spreading this about RayROD stealing work also went out and thought that one of our modders got picked up because of a confusion over an in-game asset.
Oh.
The asset's been in the game since pre-release. A modder found it and put it into one of his mods, kind of like RayROD has resurfaced E3 Pathfinder Foundation content all in his overhaul. Yeah. And now, because that content has finally surfaced in 1.3, there was talk from these people that the modder that had created the mod prior had been picked up by Hello Games, and that's just not the case.
I see.
It could have happened, because I remember that Redmass did have been mentioned by Hello Games in the past when he did his super vehicle mod. I don't know if you remember that Hello Games has mentioned him, and everyone was like, "What the hell? Are they into mods? Are they allow us to do the mods we want?" And I was here with Wenmas when I did see his first reaction, it was like, what the hell? Why? It was like, what the hell? He was so surprised that Hello Games did see his work, and it's amazing to see at the end that your work has been rewarded by the people that have been created the game. You know, it's like it's amazing. It's like it's a reward. Like I would love one day that Hello Games mention RayROD and tell him how great a job he is doing, and he deserves it. I think he deserves it.
Yeah, he does deserve it. Yes, Jordan, what is your favorite part of the overhaul mod?
I think mostly the new way that you explore the game now, because I have played about 50 hours of the mod, and I had the chance to play it pre-release because I was one of the testers and give some bugs and glitch to RayROD, but mostly I was playing to myself and see how much I can go. And I've played 50 hours and maybe did explore about 50 to 100 planets. I have never seen the same biome twice. Never the same assets even. It is truly making the exploration on another level. I think it is a new way to explore now. I think it is something unique, and
yeah,
it is making it's not a problem. It is making us wants to explore more, because if you are in vanilla, I think you have like, I don't know, I think Cream or RayROD can reply to me with that, but I don't know how many biomes you have in the vanilla version. I think someone said to me 15 to 20. I don't remember.
Not many.
Yeah, not many. So if you had like 2000, you have like 100 plus the content of the original game. So it's massive. It's a massive change. I don't know what about you, Cobra, but I think this is when I did play it, I was like, this is mental. This is mental.
Yeah.
I never experienced this before in any game. It's mental.
I see a lot of people in the chat. They're saying that people should tweet at Sean Murray and Hello Games about RayROD. And I agree with that. Yeah, I think maybe we should even create like a hashtag for RayROD, like we support RayROD or something. Huh?
I was like maybe No Man's Sky overhaul. I was like something like that to do one day, I think. And yeah. I love when people are tweeting to RayROD or in the chat or even on Reddit, like, Hello Games, hire RayROD. But I think RayROD doesn't want that, because if he is hired by Hello Games, this is becoming his work, his job. But he's doing that for passion, not for work.
If I may interject, I mean, everybody's always talking about Hello Games and Sean Murray and this and that, but I mean, the Hello Games is not the only company out there. I mean, as a modder, I would love if anybody had seen my stuff and wanted to pick me up.
Very true.
I mean, I would definitely be honest and forthcoming and saying that I didn't make majority of the models, although I did tweak and adjust and edit and whatnot, and that's just for full disclosure. But Hello Games, I'm sure we would all love to work for Hello Games or be associated with them, but they're not the only ones out there either. RayROD definitely deserves to be recognized by somebody. If not Hello Games, definitely somebody.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're working with No Man's Sky. We're doing mods with No Man's Sky, so our minds are tunnel visioned on No Man's Sky and on Hello Games. But you're right. You have a good point that there's so much talent here between you and RayROD and a lot of the other modders, Red Moss, that you guys are essentially coders. you're not just modders. I mean, you guys know how to work around the game and change things and possibly even write your own game or it be used in some way, shape, or form in development of a game. And I think that's amazing. Yeah, and you're right. Anybody's attention would be amazing, and definitely, and
Red Moss is another artist that definitely deserves consideration. I'm absolutely in love with what he's done with those exocrafts.
Just for you to know, people were saying that the space adventure of Red Mass was down, but it is not in Nexus. It is still on in Nexus, I think. You can.
No,
it's
off in Nexus, right?
I don't. He had a link in the Discord of No Man's Sky, and I am on the website, and I have it. I can download it, so I don't know.
Huh? That's weird because I went to Nexus, it was removed, and it was saying it was removed.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a link if I can.
So, did you know that, RayROD, that Jordan's saying that it's back on Nexus?
I think I think he's back.
I do see it on Nexus.
Wait.
Oh, how about that? You can hear it pounding away. Nexus.com.
Oh no, I don't see it.
Quick!
But the title is a little different. It's no longer mentioning RayROD's overhaul, and that may be Red Moss has made those changes just to make it on the up and up.
Maybe he has erased your overhaul, I think, in it.
I mean, it still does talk about how that it's the compatibility.
It's so bad. You know, I did post on Reddit the update for the fixes in Reddit, and someone already has commented and said, yeah, he did pick some mods from other people. He is bad, and I'm like, what are you doing in your life to say those things?
Yeah,
do you have better things to do?
Right. Yeah, you don't have anything better to do? We got Black Note who just joined the call. How you doing, Black Note?
Good. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great. We're doing really good. I'm talking to RayROD from RayROD Mods and Krem, who's responsible for implementing some of the cool ships that we see inside the overhaul mod.
Did you? I don't know if you did, but did you try the Millennium Falcon?
No, because my PC's broke, so I can't play it at the moment. So I'm really jealous. I'm super jealous. But I did find a ship in No Man's Sky that kind of reminded me of the Millennium Falcon, and I named it the Minimum Falcon.
Minimum Falcon.
Don't worry. We will compensate with our picks for
yes,
the game.
I'm living vicariously through you, Jordan. I really am.
I see a lot in Reddit or Twitter, a lot of picks from RayROD, and it's for me it's so grateful to see a friend having this much support from the entire community. I'm so grateful, you know. I think I was more stressful to see the game to see the mod being released, and I think RayROD he was, because I was so stressful for the reaction of the community. I was like, are they gonna like it? Are they gonna hate it? And mostly it was positive, and many people are enjoying it today.
Yeah, the negative is only coming from jelly people, you know.
Yeah.
Black Note, I forget. Do you play on PC or PS4?
PS4.
Oh, okay. So, you can't enjoy the overhaul mod either.
Quite honest with you, Cobra. I grew up from the Atari, so I've never really been PC gamer ever.
I'm right there with you, man. I Atari 2600 was my first system, and I went all through the ranks. I went from Atari to Nintendo, from Nintendo to Sega Genesis, from Sega Genesis to the 32X, from 32X to Sega CD. And
then you missed the Commodore there.
I didn't have the Commodore.
Yeah,
and then I went from the Sega CD with the 32X right to Sony PlayStation, and then PlayStation ever since.
I would love to post a question to everyone in the voice chat. What was your first console, and what is your favorite console today?
My favorite console? I would have to say I'm torn between Sega Genesis and the original PlayStation.
I would say the first one I ever played was the NES. The NES, I did play Super Mario Bros. I did play the first one, and I was like, "Damn, this is so good!" And today I play it on emulator and PC, and it is as fun as it is, you know. And I think the favorite console is one that I don't have today, but I hope I will have it in a few months. Is the Nintendo Switch. I think it is such a good hardware. It is so much fun, I think, to play on it, and the possibilities to play it in many ways is, I think, it's a new kind of play on games. I think today it's amazing.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of reviews about it and people talking about it and things like that. I can't say that I'm entirely too interested though. But you posed a really cool question. So I want to kind of get you guys' ideas off that. Black Note, what was your favorite system?
I'd have to say probably, well, that could go two ways. I can't wait for the next system and the next system and the next system. I think the graphics and what we can do in games today is absolutely mind-bogglingly crazy in such a short a time. But having said that, my favorite system would probably go all the way back to the Atari 2600, 800. And here's why. Games back then generally made you think. And I mean, I remember playing E.T. I remember playing E.T. for hours.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
I still have my E.T.
Heck yeah, man. And there's a hardness to that game that was unreal because you had to get it just in the exact perfect spot. Like it was
perfect frame.
It was, you had to be absolutely perfect with games back then, or else it was just game over. And it was game over for you back then. That doesn't exist today. It doesn't. Games were so much better in that aspect back then. Now it's just, let me hold your hand and tell you what everything to do, and you can beat the game. Back then there was like, here's a game, I have no idea what the heck it is, but here we go. E.T. man, all right.
Yeah. It's the original PlayStation is the reason why I chose that over PlayStation 2, which I think has a heck of a lot better games than PlayStation, the original. Right. It's because that was like the turning point of gaming. I got that. And I got Tekken with it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is possible! This is amazing!" Tekken, then Ridge Racer, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of think that the turn point was right around that same era. The Sega Saturn, the Nintendo N64, back before they had the ability to put a lot of content in their media, and they were still restricted to how much they could fit in there, but they were still pushing that envelope.
But talking about consoles, I would love one day that No Man's Sky comes to Xbox, because if you have the Xbox One X running No Man's Sky, oh my god, the graphics you can have on it, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What about you, Cram? What was your favorite? Were you a console gamer at one point in time, growing up?
Yeah, I grew up on I first started on the Atari. Grew up on the regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo. But like I said, I think the real turn point was the N64, Sega Saturn, right around the mid '90s. We started to adapt into CD and DVD games.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That could contain a whole lot more content than a cartridge could, and just that content alone changed things.
Yeah, you're right. You know what my favorite Nintendo 64 game was?
Zelda.
No.
Mario Kart.
Tetrasphere.
Wow.
Dude, that game was so addicting. I found myself playing that every time I was not asleep. And when I would close my eyes, I could see it.
I think if I had a Nintendo 64, I would have played a fuck ton of a fuck ton of Super.
He said it 4 more times.
Here it is.
I mean, when I come hard, baby.
It's getting worse.
Go big or go home.
Oh my god! Oh, let's get the drinks out there. Let's get, you know, who wants a beer? Oh my god!
Wow.
This podcast is getting out of control. You know?
Just turned into Cobra TV After Dark.
Yeah.
RayROD, what about you, buddy? Favorite console?
Well, I'm 23 years old. I mean, I'd have to say that, I don't know, my favorite console is Nintendo 64. And
all right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up on Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, PlayStation 4. But my favorite N64 game was Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64. I'm working on a 20 terabyte arcade at the same time on the side that I'm working on the overhaul. I'm almost at 80,000 games now for the arcade.
Awesome, very awesome. So, do you remember Tetrasphere? Anybody?
I've actually never played that one.
Nope, never.
I do.
What is it?
Tetrasphere.
What is it?
It was a sphere but it was Tetris, and it would get closer to the camera if you didn't hurry up and start busting down some layers.
Because
the sphere would grow bigger and bigger, and yeah.
It was like digital crack cocaine for me.
It was like some 3D Tetris, but yeah.
I think my anxiety problems that I have as an adult were derived from that game. I'm serious.
Yeah, I think the last game I did see that did come out that was about Tetris is, I think it was Puyo Puyo Tetris, I think. It's on Switch, I think, now.
I just Googled it.
Yeah.
That was my game.
I'm
serious. When I would close my eyes, I could literally see the game. It was like hallucination.
Yeah. I think most people did play when we were young. I think we did play on Sega console or Nintendo, but I think most people did play on Nintendo console. You know, it is because I think Nintendo has an aura around the games. You know, it is something that is unique that never Sony or Xbox or even Sega will have. You know. Each Nintendo game is unique, you know. Metroid, Kirby, Mario, Luigi. It is games that you can tell to your parents, and they will know about them. You know, you can tell to them, do you know about Mario? You can tell, oh yes, from Nintendo, and you can tell like. Do you know about like Halo from Xbox? They would just look at you and be like, "What is it?" They're gonna be like, what is it? Is it like something from for the shower or something like that? You know.
Well, I think we're going to be closing up the show here in about 10 minutes or so. Is there anything about the overhaul mod or anything that you guys would like to talk about that we didn't cover or touch on?
Yeah, after Krem.
The only thing I really could say is I've noticed since Atlas, modders have been leaving the scene. New mods have kind of been dying out. They're not so much of a thing anymore. And I think that's got a lot to do with the response that we're getting when we put mods out. I can only speak for myself on this matter. In terms of my more ships, I get a lot of, I don't like this ship, I'd rather have this ship instead. And instead of just asking for that ship that you'd rather have instead. You don't have to express the dissent. I can still fulfill the request without having to belittle what's already in the project. And RayROD's running into not only belittlement, but slander as well. And it's all these little things that actually compound and end up demotivating modders to quit the game, like Red Moss has decided to do. And hopefully after sleeping on it tonight, or even a couple months from now, he'll come back like I did.
So I just want to say to you in the voice chat, Oppressor is saying hi to you all. He can't join today because he is sick and his mic don't work today. So he's saying hi to you, RayROD, Kremet, and everyone in the voice chat.
Oh, I hope he feels better.
Yeah, get well soon, Oppressor.
There is something that I would like to say. I just want to stress that the overhaul is still in a beta state.
Right.
And it's not the official final version 10 release. So there are bound to be some rare bugs, but I want everyone to know that I am ironing it out. I'm working on it, and you know, this is also my personal setup, and you know, like if I know that there's some sort of a problem, I feel the need to resolve it before I even play myself. And there's a lot more that I'm going to be working on and adding to it, more biomes, more content. I'm, you know, just creatively thinking of features, but right now I'm focusing on stability, and eventually I'll get on to further performance optimizations. And I would appreciate it if anyone has a bug or an issue. There's a document in the download itself called bug reporting. It's a text file, and in there is my email, rayrod129@gmail.com. That's RAYROD129@gmail.com. You can email me there, and you know, I'd be glad to help you out with any issues, and if there's any requests or compatibility requests, you know, if I can do it, if it's reasonable, you know, I'll tailor make something for you.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. You know, you've always been like that. Ever since you first come on the show, you've always been, hey guys, got any requests? I'll give you something. You know, just tell me what you want. I'll put it in the game. That is just amazing, RayROD.
And if I can point out right here that if RayROD was actually stealing somebody's work, I don't think he'd be in a standpoint position where he could say he'll go ahead and custom tailor something for you.
Exactly. Good point.
So yeah. Martin is saying hi to you, RayROD.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Oh, Martin. Oh, thanks, man. And you were awesome too.
You know, I think you can see how much dedication and passion every modder is taking to No Man's Sky, because I heard that from my friends that are not really into mods, they think that we are stealing or breaking what Hello Games is doing in No Man's Sky, you know. And
I think a lot of that attitude comes from, you know, a long time, you know, with competitive games and multiplayer games like that. Modding is, to me, is a bad thing because it's like cheating. you can mod yourself into God mode and you can't die, things like that. I've come across things like that in online gaming. So when people say modding, especially from a console gamer point of view, when they hear modding, they hear cheating.
Yeah,
automatically.
That Grand Theft Auto modding is that came to mind when you were talking about that, Cobra.
Yeah. Were you talking about GTA 4?
GTA 4, 3, Vice City, San Andreas. Anything where there was multiplayer play and you were using a mod up until I think 5. They came out with something that checks for that.
Yeah. And GTA 4, I dealt with people modding to beat me on GTA 4 quite often. That's why I had to quit playing it. But
I don't know if RayROD was going to talk about it, but you did say to me when we were chatting that you did some mods for GTA 5. Actually.
Oh yeah. I learned how to hack from there. There was a lot of craziness. I custom coded, like, basically I come from the PS3 modding scene, like starting on Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. There was a lot of craziness going on there, a lot of cheaters online. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to hack my PS3, create custom characters, put them in the game, and if somebody starts to cheat me in the game, I'm going to use a custom button on a custom controller and press select, and they're going to instant kill. But I only did it once, and it worked, and it was funny. But after
Perfect example right there, Cobra.
Yeah, you're right.
But really, on GTA 5, there was a lot of craziness. I made, people were saying you'll never learn this because I didn't know anything about ASM, assembly. So they said you'll never learn this because back then I had trouble with C++. And, apparently C++ was supposedly less complicated than ASM, but I was interested in ASM. They said I couldn't do it, so I determined myself to find a way to learn it, and I learned, what I learned, and I wrote over 16,000 lines, and I injected it into the game, and what it did was it created an in-game menu on the screen, and I just did it for fun. It could be used offline, some people used it online, but yeah, I started programming on there. But it was really just a fun project of studying, what was going on, inside of the file system on GTA 5. But yeah, I like No Man's Sky. I like the feeling of being alone.
Are you able to figure out, since you're really you're a professional modder, are you able to figure out what the flight scripting is for the physics for say the GTA helicopters and GTA 4?
I believe that because I haven't played GTA in a while. I mainly played it on PC after PC came out, but I started off on the PS3. The flight handlings, they were in XML files actually. Actually, the format for modding GTA V is very similar to No Man's Sky.
Well, I'm interested in specifically the flight physics, the flight mechanics for GTA 4.
Kind of ironically to this, I've made a mod in San Andreas, Vice City, that turns the Dodo into a fighter jet. It basically changes the flight handling of that ship.
Really?
RayROD's right. It is all XML. It's actually, I believe it's INI files. But the structure of the file is very similar to an XML, and it's got different variables for the pitch and yaw and a whole bunch of different things. It's not quite as simple as pitch and yaw, and as a result, the handling wasn't accurate, 100% accurate, but it was good enough when I shot the video.
So then you guys would be able to get me the scripting for the flight mechanics in GTA 4. For the buzzards.
Yeah, but it requires I think it would require well, actually, what console do you play it on?
PS3.
PS3?
It's the only console you can play GTA 4 on.
Yeah, to run exploited, you would need a jailbroken PS3 to run it.
Well, no. Okay, so the cat's out of the bag. I want to start working on a game, and I want the flight mechanics for the GTA 4 buzzards.
Oh, nice.
While I might be able to get to the source, the INI files that the game uses to do the flight mechanics, I do believe that's probably encoded into the game.
Okay. Well, I know. I actually like. I'm in. I come from the GTA scene. I know some people who still play GTA 4 and GTA 5 on Skype. Like, I can ask them and see what's up. Like, I never played GTA 4 really. Like, it was GTA 5, but from what I've heard, the file system from GTA 4 hasn't really changed that much in GTA 5.
It's horrible. Horrible change.
And the other thing is,
you've always been passionate about that.
Yes, yeah, they completely ruined the helicopters. It's not even the same anymore. It's just destroyed.
And the other thing is that like you need, like, if it's on the PS3, I'm pretty sure that you're going to have to get the files off of the PS3. Like, my PS3 broke. Maybe somebody is able to. I think Krem said he was, right? Able to.
No, I don't do console files.
Well, okay, we'll talk offline about this more, because it's pretty much just a project I'm just going to do just to see if I can do it. And the flight mechanics on PC is the same as PS3, so it wouldn't matter which one they came from.
I believe that's correct, yep.
I have a question.
Huh?
I have a question.
Yeah. How
custom can you mod? I'm not familiar with any of this.
On No Man's Sky?
It has to be within the realm and parameters of the game. I mean, for example, there's a lot of people who would like a vendor or an NPC that you could talk to and build your own custom ship. Go through different blueprints that you've gathered along the way, so you have different wings and different engines and different noses and different cockpits, and you mix and match everything together to build your own ship.
Okay.
That can't really be modded very easily, because I do believe there's a lot of aspects that would require coding at the back end. It would require programming code to be able to process everything correctly. Certain tags and values that you would be setting probably don't exist in game already.
Right.
You would have to kind of reinvent how that data gets saved, and without being able to do that, that mod's something that can't be implemented.
Can you alter the art of the game?
Yes, the art can be altered.
Models
can be adjusted or replaced. The textures on them can be altered, replaced, changed. Yes, you can definitely change the art within the game.
I think. In contrast, could I put something like an H.R.R. Geiger type of art in the game, where you come upon a system that has this style of art to it, rather than Hello Games art?
I do believe so. You're referring to like the construction of a building, or the design of something?
Sure, anything. Like, let's say the ships or the buildings are in the style of Alien. Like, I'm talking Alien.
Okay.
Right? The art completely different. It's a different style than what Grant envisioned. How would you go about doing that?
I think
you would need to have a custom model to put into the game, first and foremost. You use Blender and the No Man's Sky development kit provided by Monkey Man and I believe a couple others. You would export the model into game, and you'd have to make some edits within the text files so that the game could implement and use those models.
Sort of like what you're doing with the ships.
Exactly like I'm doing with the ships.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, are you like thinking of like a complete visual overhaul in that style, or are you thinking like, certain things here and there that resemble that?
No, like an overall style. Like, you get to a new system and it's a different kind of physics going on, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this is completely not the same game. You get to the point where it's based on the same model, but the art is completely different.
Yeah.
It could be done. It would definitely take some time to do it.
Yeah.
Synonymous to what synonymous to what Krem said. You would definitely need to use Blender to create custom models, etc. But you're gonna there's a lot of different assets that would need to be changed. Maybe some things that can't really be changed yet due to certain game engine limitations. There would need to be texture changes. There would need to be terrain changes. I assume you'd have to create custom models. Then it would have to do with learning how the biomes themselves, how they work. It would just be really complicated. I'm pretty sure that before the game released, that it seemed like there was a more painterly art style. I'm not sure if Hello Games changed something post-release where it seems still painterly in a sense, but it seems more slightly more realism than what it did before. But I think it's possible to an extent, but I'm not sure
it
how
was just
possible it is.
A crazy idea that I thought, well, what's to say that if you can mod something that I can't go to a system that looks like The Simpsons?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that would be really cool.
But like RayROD was saying, every little aspect would have to be changed. The textures for every blade of grass or every leaf, the fauna that's going to be on that planet, or within that biome, the flora, everything would have to be adjusted to account.
We got Colt in the chat. Colt, what's going on, buddy? Miss you, man, so much, dude. Hope you had a good Christmas. Yeah, that'd be really cool. That would take a lot of work, wouldn't it?
It's more work than I want to do.
You'd have to have a team.
Yeah, and I mean, this game is made by a team, so that makes sense.
What you guys ought to do is, you, Krem, Redmoss, guys get together and just create a little project, create a little game.
The Triforce of the modders like Kremit, RayROD, and Redmass doing a mod together.
And Cobra, you nailed it, man. We're actually talking about that. Hopefully, Redmoss will stick through and join us up. Not really sure what project to do next, but definitely going to work together and hopefully give the community something that they haven't seen.
You got me excited, man. And you could count on me to cover it too.
I think Krem and RayROD, I think you are the only one that can change Redmass' mind and tell him that he can join back and doing amazing job, because I am a good friend of him and I don't really want him to force to go back, because I'm not a modder. I don't really know how much work you have to do. I see how much passion you put into it, and I think because you share the same amount of passion and work, I think you are the only one that can change his mind and tell him to join back, and you can do a team. And I think you could make some building models together. I think you could do that.
Redmoss and I were talking about exocrafts, and other people want freighters. There's definitely room to do things, and I will definitely try to get Redmoss's ear. Hopefully RayROD can do the same, but more important than RayROD and myself are everybody else, all the users out there using the mods. If they could just show a little appreciation, gratitude goes a long way, and not saying anything goes nowhere. It seems that those with dissent and the ones that don't like the mod, or don't like the modder, I should say, are quick to say something and ruin it for everybody else. And I think if more people would support Redmoss and give him a cheer of praise, it might actually give him some motivation.
Yeah. Definitely, I agree. So whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching it after it gets uploaded, tweet at Redmoss, If you just go to his YouTube channel, I'm sure he's got his Twitter account somewhere.
Yeah, he has. It is Redmas, and his YouTube channel is Space Pirate TV.
Space Pirate TV, that's right. Yeah. So tweet at retweet RayROD. Krem, are you on Twitter as well?
No, I'm not on Twitter. I'm an old dinosaur that I don't do social media too much. But I am on Discord.
Yeah.
Well, include Krem in the tweet. Tweet at Red Moss, retweet them. Show them we appreciate. I'm gonna definitely do that.
Yeah. So,
it's really appreciated because it takes us a long time and a lot of effort to put together a mod, and for somebody to come along, find the page, download it, and spend 30 minutes all invested together, and only to say negative things about it is unnecessary, to say the least.
I agree.
So, Martin has a suggestion for you, RayROD.
Pardon?
Martin in the chat has a suggestion for you. He wants you to put a pink fluffy unicorn dancing on rainbows. I think this could be.
I don't know what's funnier, the fact that he asked that or the way that you read that.
well, French accent. French accent is putting everything like a joke. I think this could be the primary feature of 1.4. It could be awesome.
Well, if you're not sure which one was funnier, I actually have a My Little Pony model with Pegasus wings and a unicorn horn, ready to be named after the first person to really disrespect my mod.
Oh boy. All right, and you know what? I think we should just leave it right there. That's how we're going to end it. All right, guys. Krem and RayROD, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having
us and me.
And Black Note, thanks for coming on, bud. I always enjoy having you come on and talk too. And even if you're just sitting there and laughing at my silly jokes, it's just amazing.
Right on.
Jordan, it's always a pleasure to have you on, dude.
It's always a pleasure to have someone as fun as you, that he's doing something with passion and being able to also talk to you to passion. It's always amazing. And I think, modders are always trying their best to give us something new. And I think this year was the best year that No Man's Sky ever had, I think, in its entire history. I think it will have, because we had RayROD doing an amazing mod. We had Atlas Risers that introduced amazing features, and we had the AOG that did bring the community together. This year was amazing for us, and I was glad to be able to meet you guys, to meet you, RayROD, Cobra, Krem, and everyone else. And I'm proud to call you friends.
Likewise, brother.
I'm proud to call you friends, and having you around when I'm also in a bad mood and have you here to talk to you. It's always a pleasure, and I love you so much, guys.
Back at you, brother. Thanks, man. Back at you.
Okay.
Great words. And I know you got to hurry up and get off to work, and so do I. I'm actually going to be late.
I'm going to be late. I think I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike.
Okay.
Oh, Ivy Mac is in the chat.
Huh?
Ivy Mac is in the chat.
Ivy Mike, what's going on?
Ivy Mike.
Cage match Mike.
Yeah.
Love that stuff. All right. Big shout out to the cage matches.
I got an old Ivy Mike story, but Cobra, you got to get going. Thank you for having me on your show.
All right. And, you guys are always welcome to come back on.
Hope 100%. To be back on. Thank you.
All right. Everybody, Have a good night. Stay safe. Come back alive, and be happy and game on.
Have a happy 2017. Yeah.
Thanks, Cobra.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody have a good night. I'll see
Happy
y'all.
New Year.
Yeah, Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
Happy New
definitely.
Year.
We'll do a New Year's stream probably. Hopefully.
Sweet.
All right, guys. Take care.
Back over.
Night.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ooh, damn. That was a good one.
When I see